Hey people, it's been a long time. I hope everyone is well. We thought we would come out of retirement to handle some things. The community has so many new boring players and it's pretty much gone to pot.
Gone to pot? This community has always been potted. Who are we looking at today?
Stinker, this character is a very non-judgmental person and only responds to things that she non-judges.
Oh, I was hoping we could take a look at the It Girl.
The It Girl is now the Clapper Girl. I knew those plastic clapping hands would bring her fame and fortune. We now have the Cousin It Girl in her place. Anyway, let's have a look at this gem.
TH posted something on her page earlier. 'Cause someone had texted me. I looked and I was like, what in the world? She posted an old 6-month-old video that No BS did specifically on Munchie. I went and listened to it just because, first of all, I've never seen all the things that No BS put out and I sure didn't see that, but I was like, wow, this is crazy. Wow.
Yeah, the things that Psychopath was saying to SG was crazy, like taunting her facing the end of her life and how her daughter will be so happy when it happens. And how they will celebrate when it happens. Is that what you think was crazy, lady?
Doesn't she call that creeper twin or something like that? Maybe she didn't like that we portrayed her twin as a demon. Because only a demon would say such things. Let's see what else she has to say.
There's some things that have come to my attention. And I try to practice this sit back and just don't partake. Entertain. There's a time I do believe I'm gonna say, you know what, I'm gonna tell you what it is on this side, so. We find that a lot in this community, judgment,
Like you just judged us and the video we made? Or were you judging TH for posting that video showing the fakeness of them all?
People can have a difference of opinion, and that's okay in this world, because we're all unique, God made us all individuals, we're not robots. And until you stand in someone else's shoes, or walk a mile in their shoes, you don't have a right. Really, no one has a right to judge, Something really got to me yesterday. I usually don't comment or make comments on posts. Well, yesterday I saw that Net went live saying that God sees you or something like that. Something in those words, God sees you, God's with you, something like that, and I'm like, you know what? Yes, God does see us, but do you know what the word says? It says that God looks on the heart of the man, not the outside man. What are your motives? What are your intentions? What are your desires? What's your first love? He gets to the inner parts, not what you're saying out of your mouth or whatever.
I almost thought I was listening to TH there for a second with all the pious preachy crap.
Seems they are more alike than she wants to admit to herself. It just isn't true what she said either. Jesus said that we will be judged by every word that comes out of our mouths. He said, for by your words you will be justified, and by your words you will be condemned.
People say God don't like ugly. David went to the front of the line and had his, the lady he was having an affair with had her husband killed. And God called him a man after my own heart.
First of all, he wasn't having an affair with Bathsheba. He, being the king, took her by force and she became pregnant. He didn't go to the front lines either, he was the king. He sent Uriah there to be killed to hide his dirty deed after he called Uriah home so he could sleep with her and think the child was his. But Uriah didn't sleep with her, so he had to die to keep David's secret. A prophet told David his house would be cursed for this sin, and the child that was conceived died. His daughter was assaulted by her half-brother through incest. His other son murdered his brother for doing that and then staged a rebellion to usurp David from his throne. This son was also killed.
I guess God really doesn't like ugly. And why is this non-judging person judging Net on saying that God sees us after saying no one has the right to judge?
So don't tell me that God sees me, I know. First of all, God is with me. He's in me. He don't just see me and it's good, that's the way it is, because I can see you. through God's eyes until you keep on doing the stuff she's doing.
I wonder whose eyes she starts seeing through when she gets pissed.
I haven't sat over here and judged anybody. There's really no place to judge in this community, right? Like, you can sit back and judge all you want, but usually that platter is gonna land right back in your lap when you do that. I've learned through the years that, just don't put yourself there, I don't know what anybody else has gone through, so I can't judge whether they're this or that. I can have an opinion about it. That doesn't mean I'm judging.
That's a sneaky way around judging.
My whole life, has been about being peaceful with people. Even in my ministry years, that's what I did,
Peacefully tell them inaccurate things about God and his judgment? And didn't Paul forbid women to be teachers and preachers?
I'm not saying that makes me out to be any better than anybody else, no. But I will say that being in the Word of God the way I was for those many years as I was and preaching and teaching it, really is what I did 'cause that's what I like to do, teach it.
Lord have mercy.
And understanding it and walking in it. Even in this YouTube world, this is how I handle things. It's always gonna come back to my faith. Try to remain peaceful with people. I'm not up here trying to start anything, I'm just answering some shit. Right? I'm not going after nobody, not harassing, not cussing anybody. I'm not doing none of that. So we can't be blamed for that.
She's now going to try to explain away her harassment of a fellow YouTuber. Talking to his family and even having them on panel telling the world that he did disgusting things to them. If this wasn't starting crap with someone, I don't know what is.
I didn't bully Mike. I didn't lie. I would never put anything out there without it being factual. Never. I didn't know his past. I was going after him because he was a grifter. He would say that he's homeless and he's this and that. We were trying to prove. And then I had his sister-in-law calling me. Nobody knows everything. They have no clue, and I don't run my mouth about everything. I don't jap my jaws and, let shit fly out my pie hole like some people do. Yeah, he was slick. He was always just an ass. He told so many lies, it was just ridiculous, and I'd catch him in all his lies. But I'm not judgmental at all, but I can't see TH getting into tarot cards because of, her faith. Just like my faith, I wouldn't get into tarot cards because of my faith.
Judging again, but makes it sound innocent by saying I can't see her doing that because of her faith when her friend just told her that she was doing that.
Stinker, we all judge all the time. We judge the character of those we want as friends. We judge the character of those watching over our children and pets when we can't be around. We judge constantly, but we don't have to be some pious clown saying that we don't when we do. We even judge the clowns in this community just like they do, but we aren't afraid to admit it. Anyway, I'm done for now. See you all soon. I'm out of here.